Water. It's essential for life. We can't live without it. We drink water every single day. We take it into our bodies. We give it to our kids. In fact, we even wash our fruits and our vegetables with it. We bathe in it. We cook in it. But I want to share something shocking to you. Before you take your very next sip of water, you need to know what's in it. When I saw what was hidden in my water, I never wanted to drink that water again. You see, a friend of mine came over to my home. He said, let's test the water that you're drinking. So we went over to the refrigerator and we took some water out of the filter coming from the refrigerator. And we put that in a cup. We put an orange dot on that cup so we wouldn't get confused as to which waters, because he wanted to test them all. And then he said, okay, let's test the water coming out of your tap. I said, no problem. So we put a pink dot on that cup and we filled it up. And of course, we were going to test that too as well. Now, he had his own water with him. So I'm thinking pretty much it's probably similar to the water that I have. But he said his water, we'd be able to taste it and see the difference. Now, I'll give him this. His water was very good. In fact, I filled up my flask with it. And I said, wow, this is some very good tasting water. It was different. But what I noticed is all 3 cups of water, they look the same, but a simple test shows what was hidden in the water. So we're going to speed this up to let you see as we're doing the simple test. And this test involves a couple different things. It involves iodine and potassium chloride. So I use 5 drops in each of these little test tubes. And as I put it in there, remember he said I was going to start to see a difference. I'd already tasted a difference. Yes, his water tasted much better than mine. But when I started to look at the water on the left with the blue, that was his water. See there with the blue on the top? And the water there with the orange dot, of course, that was the filtered water, and the pink was the sink. Now, can you see the difference already? I want you guys to take a very good look at this. I started to notice that, wow, it's getting cloudy. And the longer we went, 3 minutes, 4 minutes into this, I got this actually sped up so you can see it over time. And I sat there looking at this in amazement. Because not only did it turn cloudy, it started to literally form these little clumps inside the water and fall down. I said, what is that? He said, well, you have total dissolved solids in your water. And so what it's doing is clumping around those solids and it's dragging it down to the bottom. And as I looked at it, the more I looked at it, guys, the more disgusted I got. I was like, oh my God, this is what I've been drinking. This is what people make their coffee in and their tea in. This is what they brush their teeth in. So I want to know, how much of this am I consuming just in a cup of water? And I noticed it took 12 of these test tubes to make 1 cup of water. So can you imagine drinking 12 times this amount just in a cup of water or a cup of coffee? So right away I said, wait a minute, what's in this water? I need to know. You need to know what's in your water. So go to this website, ewg.org/tapwater, and simply punch in your zip code. What you're about to see is going to literally shock you. It's going to bring up your utility. You pick the one that you get your water from, so it's not something we're making up. It shows you the amount of contaminants in the water. And in my area, there were 16 total contaminants. 5 of them exceeded the EWG health guidelines. 5 of them. And when I scrolled down a little more, it told me exactly what they were. One of them was 2.2 times the amount of the health guidelines. Another 2.3, another 192 times the health guidelines. And all of the potential effects were cancer. 544 times, 384 times. Are you kidding me? This is what's been coming into my home. And I told him, wait a minute, I got a water filter. See, I got a machine. I spent over $3,000 for it. I was really proud of. And I said, I certainly is taking this stuff out. And he said, okay, let's test it. And that's the reason why, even if you have a filter at home, you still need to have your water tested. And so we did the same test. We put the same drops in, and surely I figured this was going to stop it. And guys, in the first minute and a half, I started to see the same thing started to happen. The chemicals were getting through. The calcium was getting through. The same exact thing. And the water that I was drinking, and I was so proud of, that I defended and told him my water wasn't bad. Ladies and gentlemen, I was so bad, I told him No, don't come over. I don't need to test my water. I got the perfect filtration system. And I'm so glad that he came over. I'm so glad I changed my mind. You see, I finally got the education on what to do about my water and how I could change my water from this to getting the best, cleanest water to drink. So get with the person that shared this with you. Get your water tested today. You need to know what's in your water because you and your family deserve the best drinking water possible.